What up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Durable by Design, where we talk about how to scale agencies. I am joined, as always, by the man, the legend, the myth, Christopher Barnett. How are you doing today?
Good. I've got my Super Partner Alliance swag on today for this one. So, yeah, shout out to those partners that were accepted onto the Super Partner Alliance board.
Or what we call going to the spa.
That's right.
Okay, so let's talk about today. We have a topic about StoryBrand. So hit us up. What do you think about?
Yeah, I have been thinking a lot with our existing partners around the new go-to-market strategies that every service provider really needs to be thinking about right now. And I am a big believer in the StoryBrand framework, and wanted to talk about that today so that we can give people some takeaways, some impact moments that they can learn from this session when they're considering building out their GTM.
Love it. Talk to me. Why do you, side note, I too love StoryBrand. It's a great book by the whole thing by Donald Miller. You check it out. I highly recommend. There it is. Building a StoryBrand, and has a specific methodology. When we first launched Rev Partners, that's what we built our brand on. And I've since used it for Supered and every other website I've ever touched. And it's been profound. And how, period. Okay, Crispy, talk to us. Lead us through it.
Yeah, I like how it forces the author of the narrative to think about the perspective of the hero that they're targeting. So there are 6 main elements in the StoryBrand framework, and we actually go beyond StoryBrand and introduce some other elements as well. We talk about the hero, which is something similar to your ICP, your buyer persona, target customer, stuff like that. We talk about their struggle and their mission. So their mission is what makes them successful as a hero. Their struggle is the detractor from that mission, which means that they are not successful, or the thing that holds them back. The problems are the things that are encouraging the struggle. So problems are not the struggle itself. Problems are more of like symptoms, if you will, of the struggle. The solution is the actual GTM offering, which is what are you offering to this hero to help them achieve their mission, overcome the struggle, solve their problems, and ultimately that is the entire framework that results in the journey. And I think the journey and the narrative is what is most important in this framework. Putting yourself in the shoes of your hero, you need to think about, if I'm going on a journey, I need to think about the context in how I understand I have a problem and my reaction to that problem and the reaction to that context. That typically will result in me either experiencing pain and therefore finding a solution, or just acknowledging pain and not exploring a solution altogether. So either way, part of this StoryBrand framework is educating your hero on what different options there are in the sense of problem realization, to them going into solutions discovery, to them finding your solution, to then showing the success of that solution as part of that journey. This helps guide narrative ultimately, which is the base of the messaging of a StoryBrand framework campaign, followed by the obstacles, roadblocks, and value propositions that are part of your specific solution and offering. Very powerful tool, especially if you are, what I find of a lot of partners that we talk to at least is when they build out messaging, especially around HubSpot, they build out their offering or they try to sell in a way where they think technical aptitude results in like a stronger presence in a sales process, when it's actually the opposite. If you show that you're too technical, it confuses the end user or the person that you're selling to, and it results in like a not a frictionful experience, but you have to educate them more and ultimately dumb it down into a way that they understand. So I like this methodology just to position the offering in a way that's understandable and helps them target the hero from struggle and mission standpoint.
What do you think agencies get wrong most of the time in this? One I've seen, just to put in your head, is the idea, and I've heard you say the idea of the guide or the Sherpa, as it was in the storybook, versus the hero. But what do you see people getting wrong when they don't use StoryBrand?
Yeah, one is they don't think about the journey all that much and the different branches of that journey. So, for example, the way that people digest information or go and search for solutions differs by who they are, the solution that they're searching for. I mean, tons and tons of variables. And so when they're thinking about the journey, there's two major things to think about. One is the context and how they realize they have a problem, which is my boss asking me for data that I can't report on? Is the business blind right now? Is, the marketing team not able to show where dollars are being spent? So context is extremely important because that helps guide the rest of the journey and the next steps. And then two is after you realize context, there's different branches and different pathways that someone could take. So it may end up being your solution is one stop in this journey as they vet other solutions alongside it. Or your solution is not even present in the ecosystem and where they digest information. So for example, like we talked in a previous episode about Reddit. I go to Reddit for a lot of solutions, especially around like personal life stuff. So if I'm looking for like I have a leak in my house or whatever, I'll go to Reddit and say, hey, I'm experiencing this, blah, 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 and I'll get real solutions there. Some people go to Reddit, some people go to their network, some people go to LinkedIn, some people go to ChatGPT. And so it's important to know context drives pathway. And you have to factor in each of those branches in that pathway in order to successfully target that hero in their journey. So I think that's one. Number two is I have a really simple rule for this, and I'm hoping this is an impact moment, is explain your solution as if you're explaining it to your partner. And I was really good at doing this when I was selling HubSpot, in the sense of if you tell someone context companies deals tickets in a sales process, they're like, okay, or like properties. It's like, well, I live on a property, like my house is on a property. Is that what that means? Like, no, it's not. And so explain your solution and the things that encompass your solution in a way that's understandable from someone who's unfamiliar with technology, unfamiliar with process, unfamiliar with your ecosystem, stuff like that, because it makes it very easy to digest and understand.
Okay. If I was sitting here listening to all this, I would say something like, you've given me a lot of words. What's a very practical thing people can go do right now? They've never heard of StoryBrand. What do they do?
Yeah. Become a super partner. Number one, we cover this in GTM. Number two, if you're not a super partner, you will be beaten by a partner. Number three is think about just the simple 6 things I talked about, which is define your hero, define their struggle, define their mission, the problems that they experience, how your solution helps solve for those, and the journey that they go on. That will give enough inspiration to build a go-to-market strategy that includes your messaging, your channels, your networks, and your launch plan. That ultimately is the starting point of a successful GTM strategy that is well thought out, designed around a well thought user experience in this format. So that's what I would do.
I'm a big StoryBrand advocate to the point where I may there's a whole certification to it. I'm gonna give. You can go get certified on it. You can go get people that are certified on it. I actually went through. We hired one of these people who are certified. It was a complete waste of your time. You can go online, and there's a whole story framework that you can get a PDF on that will teach you how to create stories. So Here's what I would say, like agencies and what they get wrong. What this is not, and what I see people have done StoryBrand before, is not a slogan exercise. So you're gonna have this H1, H2, and you got to get the H1, H2. You have point 1 and point 2, and it's very specific on how you organize. And it's not a slogan exercise, although it requires you to do a slogan. Let's say this is the power of storyline. It's not these one-liners. It's that you have to condense the story you're telling in very specific ways that you only have one line. So it forces you to tell a compelling journey. It is hard to do this. And it makes you change your whole sales funnel to customer first. That's what you really say, hero. So this is number 2, is I find that agencies talking about this, and I'm a big advocate of this, talking about this, they soften the conflict on their website traditionally. In StoryBrand, that is a no-no. You have a point of view, and you have to make, this is like you have a hero. That hero is suffering from something that's going to kill them. And you have to, at the very beginning, say you have something that's going to kill you. I'm here to, this is the thing that's going to kill you. And you don't say, and here's how I save you. That's actually later. But they soften conflict on their websites, which does not give It doesn't give an emotive response. Everybody that's on your website should hate it or love it. You should never have neutral feedback.
Yep.
So let me give you an example. Let's give something very specific. One of the things that we did at RP is we went really hard into thematics, a theme. So we said we do revenue engines. And so we built cars. People would see our website and say, y'all really like cars? I'm like, no, I don't care at all. But it communicated the idea. You have an engine problem. You don't know if you're on track or behind. You see other cars in front of you. You don't feel like you can go fast enough. You don't know when to take a pit stop or not. So it's really important. Themes allow you to communicate stories in a very powerful way. Don't soften the conflict. Be very specific about it. Use power language. And then number 3, and I have a couple of these because I love StoryBrand so much. Number 3, people focus on their business's why instead of the customer's why. StoryBrand flips that. And you should not talk about your why until it's like stage 4, until you introduce yourself as the guide. And the narrative's already there. Here's the battle, here's the problem, here's why it cost you so much money, and I know how to fix it, and here's the exact journey you're going to take. I've been on the journey, let's go. And people usually get that wrong.
Yeah.
They start at the very beginning, like, your HubSpot's broken, I can fix it. That's not StoryBrand, that's the whole point. Number 4 is they confuse the guide with a best friend. And so a guide is somebody that's telling you you're wrong often. It's like you're a mentor, not I'm here to help you do something. No, I'm here, it's life or death, and I'm here to save you from your own failures. Yeah. Those are my 4. In the StoryBrand context, like what does it actually fix? It gets rid of all this stuff so that people can emotively respond with a freaking button push on a demo request.
Yeah. I think it ties into fear of challenging, right? Fear of telling someone they're wrong and things like that. And this is probably, future episode, we could talk about challenger sale and stuff like that as a part of this methodology to have like the perfect methodology framework for how you build this stuff.
Yeah. Going into that is and I'll say this is StoryBrand is not a website copy. It is a narrative that will run the go-to-market for your entire company that reduces churn. And the problem I see is that you can't just be on your website. It must be brought through to your ops and your sales, and it must be reoccurring. Those themes must hit. And so that's the other, I call that last problem. Okay, if you don't know what StoryBrand is, hit me up, hit Crispy up. Like, we do this actively. It's how we run our marketing. It's how we run our sales. If you're listening to this, it's because you've been hit in the face with StoryBrand. We have a very specific way of deploying it called Surround BAM. But StoryBrand was for me, it was actually the start of a lot of my thoughts about go-to-market.
Yeah. Instead of cars, it's superheroes for us.
Yeah. Oh, great point. Yeah, you pick a theme and go hard.
Yep.
Pick a theme and go hard. We went so hard, we put it in our name. Yeah. So. Okay, Crispy. What's one thing nobody knows about you?
I am internationally ranked in Super Smash Bros.
Well, me too. I'm 1 million out of. No, I'm just joking. What's your rank?
Last night it was 1,200 something.
Okay, so
yeah, which is not great, but Super Smash Bros is my thing. I love it.
Okay, well, appreciate you, everybody. Stay awesome. Keep doing it big. Until next time, stay super. Deuce.